Rabbi ويسقيني what? So it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the dhikr and the iman and the khashya and the khushu' and all this in the salat and his ibadah, that it makes him have no need for food and no need for drink. Whereas us, we don't have that level of ibadah. Even the Sahaba, they didn't have, you know what I'm saying, you don't have that level. So he said no, so he prevented them and he made it haram for them to do it. But he said, if you're going to do it, he said, ila sahar, you know, ila fajr, you know, up until the time of fajr.
So fajr, and then once second fajr comes, eat.
Yeah, but it's not easy. We did that one time in Yemen. Oh my God, man. I tried to go to sleep that night. I couldn't even go to sleep. Because imagine, it's like 11 o'clock at night and you're still fasting. My body was just like, what is it?
SubhanAllah. I thought, you know, just when you think it's finished.
What did you go? You go and rob the Easter bunny or something like that?
Hey, at least give us one.
Allah. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Majid, is it working right? Alright. Where'd you get all this chocolate from?
Robert.
Oh, you got it in the club.
Yeah, that's on.
Don't throw that stuff in the message. Alright, so we're on the second chapter, which is Bab Bir al-Um. Now, obviously, it's obligatory for the Bir al-Walidain, you know, to show righteousness and good behavior to both the parents. But why did Bukhari here only specify the mother? And why you see also the Prophet ﷺ, as we're going to see in the hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ singled out the mother 3 times for the father. Why?
Because حق الأم is more heavier than حق الأب.
Okay, but why? You just...
Oh, because حملت وهنا على وفصاله عامين 30 شهرا.
Well, no, but this is also a law mentioned in the rights of the mother, where he didn't mention also. He's like here where he mentioned all the time throughout the Quran about Bir al-Walidain, but he only specified who? The mother.
Because the hardship the mother
يعني
went
وضعته وهنا وفصاله, this one, and then وضعته قرحا وحملته قرحا ووضعته قرحا, right? So I mean 2 times here that you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically mentioned the rights of the mother. But what about, so why is that? Why isn't the father mentioned specifically?
I think because the mother, she goes through so much hardship. She goes through one more.
It can take mine.
Yeah. One more.
Turn it up. Go ahead, I'm listening. I just need to turn it.
That because the mother, she has to go, and then when she gives birth, that's extreme pain, and obviously a part of her body leaves her body when she gives birth.
Well, the thing about it is like, number one, who's most in need of your assistance and help?
The mother,
Why?
because she's weak.
She's weak. Father doesn't need your help. Father can build a house by himself, you know what I mean? The father is the father, right? So he doesn't need the assistance and the help and, you know, the bir as much as the mother does. So you see the father just wants what? Yes sir, no sir.
Money.
Don't talk back, make your bed, and stop acting stupid, right? But the mother, she needs help, she needs assistance, she needs help around the house. The mothers are always claiming, and even the fathers that yell at the sons, but mostly, you never help your mother around the house, right? You never help your mother around the house, you know? She's always got to clean up everything, she's got to do everything. So it's the mothers that you see are always going to need the most assistance. The men, obviously, they can take care of themselves, all right? So, Bab Bir al-Um. All right, as far as the hadith previously, from yesterday, the hadith number 2, which was حدثنا آدم قال حدثنا شعبة قال حدثنا يعلى ابن عطاء. يعلى, all right, and أبيه. So أبوه is عطاء al-Amri, al-Ta'ifi, and he's majhul. So, as far as like the meaning of the hadith from yesterday, this is Rida Rabb, Rida al-Walid, وَسَخَطُ الرَّبِّ سَخَطُ الْوَالِدِ. As far as the meaning of the hadith, it is authentic, it's correct, it's sahih. Here you see Bukhari, he brought the hadith, and we talked about this yesterday. Here it's mawquf, and you talked about, and you mentioned that Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah, mentioned that it's sahih marfu'.
Yeah.
Well, it's Hasan mawquf and sahih marfu'. But both the chains and narrations from the marfu' and the mawquf all go through the same person. Alright, which is Ata ibn Amr. Alright, which is majhul. He's majhul al-hal. So being that he's majhul, unless like Shaykh al-Albani had different, maybe from the majmur Torah, but all of the Torah go through the same person, whether it's mawquf or marfu'. So Allah, I mean, as far as on the Zahir, the hadith is not authentic. The meaning of the hadith is authentic, and as far as the meaning, there's like different shawahid, but as far as the actual chain of narration, then no. Alright, now here we go. حدثنا أبو عاصم عن بحث بن حكيم عن أبيه عن جده رضي الله عنه. I feel like I'm in a Saudi Arabia. I'm just waiting for you to start handing out coffee now. He's bringing out sweets and everything while the class is going on. Alright, عن جده رضي الله عنه قلت يا رسول الله من أبر؟ قال أمك. قلت من أبر؟ قال أمك. قلت من أبر؟ قال أمك. قلت من أبر؟ قال أباك ثم الأقرب فالأقرب. Alright, so here we have the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Men abar. Alright, abar here is what? Who?
Deserving of the righteousness?
Yeah, the righteous behavior, the attention, and the assistance and help the most. And he said, your mother. He said, and then who? He said, your mother. He said, and then who? He said, your mother, and then he said, who? And then he said, your father, and then the closest relatives to you. So like the father, the grandfather, the uncle from the father, then the uncle from the mother, and the grandfather, the father of the father, then the father of the mother, the grandmother of the father, then the grandmother of the mother, like this.
Does the aunts from the khala, does she come after the father? The khala, right? Summa al-aqrab. Did she have more deserving of bir than the grandmother?
No, what are you talking about, grandmother?
Like the grandmother of the mother, or does the khala have more attention?
No, the grandmother.
Or the grandmother?
Because here, if manzilat al-umm. So if the mother's not there, then she takes the manzil of the mother, just like the grandfather takes the manzil of the elder. So the grandmother has more rights. She's older, and she's the mother of your mother. Whereas the khala is sister of your mother, right? We talk, so no doubt, the grandmother. But I mean, and also, like, whoever's closer to you, too. Like, you look at your situation, you might not be close to your grandmother. Maybe your grandmother lives in a whole other state. And who's there? Your mother's sister's there, your aunt. And then, so, of course, in that case, then you're going to try to, you focus on giving your mother her rights and the father his rights, and then the aunt. What's up?
I have a few questions, but you like taking them at the end of the halakha, or?
It depends if it's connected to the hadith or not.
Yeah.
What's up?
So, the rights, it's the father's lineage who deserve it first, and then the mother's lineage?
No, this is not, that's the miraj.
No.
That's the inheritance.
You said, so, akrab. So are we close?
I mean, the akrab that you're going to have is those from your father's side are generally going to be the closest to you than your mother's relatives. I mean, that's amongst the Arabs, but of course, here in America, it's the opposite. Here in America, we're more inclined to our mother's side of the family than our father's side of the family. Like me, I spent the majority of the time when, the holidays growing up, I was with my mother's side, more than my father's side of the family. So I mean, that's just it's just natural, here in America. So, again, those types of issues, they go back to the heart, So, like for me, I'm going to, I spent more time with my mother's father than I spent with my father's father. Even though, my lineage goes through there, but that's just You know, my whole entire summer was spent with my grandfather for my mother's side, so yeah. Alright. So I mean, you look at the situation and you see what's best. But the important thing is,
There's still more.
these guys are like,
Huh? They took the candy in there for the masjid, and ain't nobody eating it. It's in the office. They don't know what's there.
oh, this is where all this candy's coming from?
Yeah.
Oh, because they keep coming up with more and more
You
food.
know how we got the boxes out there, right?
Yeah.
And then we take some for Friday. But if we don't put it out there, then they just sit in the office.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed it.
Oh, I didn't know it was out there, so.
It's 2 bags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 2 bags. They getting in there now, though.
Yeah, I know, I can see it. You see all the chairs went empty, man. Everybody went to go after the chocolate, so. Can you check and make sure, because we don't even know if they can see if they can, because for the people on the live stream on YouTube, man, we're trying to go through this microphone.
Oh, you talking about checking the phone?
Yeah, check and see if there's anybody that says on the comments, because Majahid's not here, Majahid left. Just check and see if there's any comments, if anybody's saying we can't hear you, we can't hear you. Because also I'm tired, so my voice is like low today, so.
What's this? Yeah, it's working. It's working.
We just seen you.
Oh, you're on YouTube?
I can hear you downstairs, too.
No, bro, because this is for the live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, it's working.
How's it sound?
Good, perfect.
Okay. Hey, you got it right now.
Like 20 seconds behind though. It's like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a live stream. That's how all live streams are like that. There's always that pause. Alright, so the next hadith, حدثنا سعيد ابن أبي مريم قال أخبرنا محمد بن جعفر عن ابن جعفر ابن أبي كثير قال أخبرني زيد بن أسلم عن عطاء بن يسار عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أنه أتاه رجل فقال إني خطبت امرأة فأبت أن تنكحني وخطبها غيري فأحبت أن تنكحه فغرت عليها فقتلتها فهل لي من توبة؟ قال أمك حية؟ قال لا. قال توب إلى الله عز وجل وتقرب إليه ما استطعت. فذهبت فسألت ابن عباس لما سألته عن حياة أمه فقال إني لا أعلم عملا أقرب إلى الله عز وجل من بر الوالدة. Alright, and this narration of Ibn Abbas is authentic. So I'm going to translate it, and then we have a major issue with this. This is authentic. But then we have an issue that we're going to have to deal with, because this is authentic, and another statement of Ibn Abbas is also very authentic. It seems to contradict this statement, but let's see. Alright, so he said, after the chain of narration, that Ibn Abbas, a man came to him, and he said, Inni khatabtu imra, I proposed to this woman, right? فأبت أن تنكحني, but she refused to marry me. وخطبها غيري, and then another man went to propose to her. فأحبت أن تنكحه, but she loved that he would marry her. فغرت عليها, and then I got very, enraged with like jealousy, and I got angry. فقتلتها, so I killed her. So I don't know, he said, that's how I killed her. فهل لي من توبة? Is there any tawbah? Is there any repentance from me? قال أمك حية. He said, is your mother alive? قال لا. He said, no. He said, توب إلى الله عز وجل وتقرب إليه. He said, go repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do actions that bring you close to Allah. From the righteous actions that bring you close to Allah. He said, as much as you're capable, just do as many good actions as you can to get closer to Allah and for Tawbah. But the Habtu Fasa'altu Ibn Abbas. I went to him. I went and I asked Ibn Abbas, why did you ask him about the life of his mother, like is his mother alive? فقال إني لا أعلم عملا أقرب إلى الله. I don't know any action that will bring you closer to Allah than being righteous to your mother. Alright, beautiful narration, and this narration is authentic. But there's another narration where Ibn Abbas, he mentioned about the person who killed somebody muta'ammidan, and the tafsir of the ayah, what? من قتل مؤمنا متعمدا Alright, so he said that there's no Tawbah for this person. Alright, so now, we have the tafsir of Ibn Abbas, of this ayah, where he says that there's no Tawbah for this person. Then we have this narration where he said, is there any Tawbah? I just killed this girl, obviously, but it was in the fit of rage, but he did it. He went and he had to go get something and go stab her and kill her, so it's murder. It's punishable by death. It's premeditated. So he said, do I have any Tawbah? And he said, yes. He said, go and do, make Tawbah. So now, how do we look at this now between the tafsir of the ayah and in this narration?
When you say the tafsir of the ayah, with Ibn Abbas, was he talking about someone who already killed someone or someone who was on his way to kill someone?
No, من قتل مؤمنا متعمدا فجزاؤه جهنم. He's going to go to the hellfire. خلاص, there's no Tawbah for him.
Do we assume that the person who killed is a non-Muslim?
No.
No,
No, but he's talking about in this narration.
Because I know, I'm not saying, but I know Ibn Abbas, he mentioned like in this verse, it doesn't mean like مخلدا يعني forever مخلدا.
Who said that though?
Ibn Abbas. There's an audio.
When Shaykh al-Aymin, rahimahullah, he said, I'm not even going to answer that. He said, Allah knows best what his status is with Allah. He said, I'm not even going to go there, basically, So, because the thing is that people say that, but you have to have evidence from the Arabic language to support that. To substantiate that type of claim, you have to have evidence that shows that khalidan fiha is used for what? Muqta tawil. That's what they say. That khalidan fiha means yamkutu fihi muqtan tawilan. Alright? And of course they're taken from the umum al-adab about the person being a muwahid. Alright? So some of the people say, even if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if Shaykh al-Aymin mentioned the same thing. Allah A'lam, they said that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change his heart. Because he killed a mu'min and muta'amidan, it will change his heart that he dies on kufr and he ends up mukhalid fi nar because of this action. But this is like now, we look and compare between the two statements of Ibn Abbas, is that one, he was saying that that there's no tawbah for him for the maqtul. For the maqtul. There's tawbah with Allah. Right? And that's why he said, Imshi and go, idhab with the qarrab. Do these types of things that will bring you closer to Allah, that you can make tawbah with Allah, that Allah will forgive you. Because Allah might forgive you, the family might forgive you, but what about the guy that you killed?
He can't forgive you.
He can't forgive you because he's dead. So that now you and him are going to have to hash that out on the Day of Judgment. And if he wants his rights, he's going to get his rights, even if it means you get tossed off into the hellfire, So he's going to get his rights on the Day of Judgment. Now, if he wants to forgive you, then maybe, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gives you tawbah and puts it in his heart to forgive you on the Day of Judgment, then that's between, you and him. That's something that's between the person, the qatil and maqtul, the killer and the one that was killed. But he can't forgive you in this dunya. So that type of tawbah is where he's saying there's no tawbah for that. That's what some of the ulama say.
That's just a real quick question. How do we combine between what the ulama say and what Allah said in Surah Al-Furqan when He said, ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله بالحق ولا يزنون ومن يفعل ذلك يقع أثاما يضاعف له العذاب يوم القيامة ويخلد فيه مهانا إلا من تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا أولئك يبدل الله السيئات الحسنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. How do we combine?
Yeah, but that's the tawbah with Allah. You've disobeyed Allah, but you've also oppressed the creation. So like, for example, you steal, you can make tawbah from stealing, right? But you still have to return the property of the person that you stole from. So now, if you can make tawbah to Allah, and Allah forgives you. Man taba ila Allah, then taba Allah alayhi. So okay, khalas, Allah forgave you for what your sins. But now what about the person that you oppressed? Part of the tawbah, the full tawbah being accepted is what? Radd al-mawadim. So now, if you don't have the means, like let's say that the person that you stole from him and then he died. And you never got a chance to return it to him. So now, what do you got to do now? Or you killed a person now, he's dead. What are you going to do? You can make tawbah to Allah And Allah can forgive you the sin that you did, you know, because that's Tawbah. But now you still have to answer because you killed a person. Your blood is on your hands. And this is going to be the first thing that the people are going to be judged between. The first thing that you're answered for, you have to answer for on the day of judgment when you come out of your graves is what?
Salah.
The salah. That's you. But then the first thing that you're going to be answered for you're going to answer for the oppression is going to be for dima. It's going to be in the blood. That's the very first thing that's going to be. The people are going to be brought, and then they're going to have to handle those affairs. So any blood that you spilled unjustly, you have to answer for that with that person. And it's up to the, if that person wants to forgive you, or if he wants his right. You took that man's life. And if his family doesn't want to forgive you, then what, So like, for example.
But what if you took that person's life in self-defense?
No, but that's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Now we're only talking about
Just wrongful.
unjustified, premeditated, like you just killed a person. Not accidentally, not, car accident, not you got angry and threw a bat and hit him in the head and killed him type of thing, not like we're talking about like here. Like he got angry at the girl, she wanted to marry another man, so he's like, I'm gonna kill her. And he went off and killed the girl because of that,
Selfish.
Yeah.
No, because I'm asking too, because I really don't understand too. It's because in the ayah Allah said, وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ نَفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. And then he said, إِلَّا مِنْ تَابَ وَأَمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. So does that mean there's still, like Allah can still accept the tawbah of a murderer in this dunya? Because Allah said,
He accepts the tawbah for you making tawbah from the sin. But you still have to give back the haqq of that person that you took his life. And the haqq of the family. Because the family now, if you killed a father, you lost their support. The man that goes out and works and feeds his family. So you think now the family's just gonna then how many people from the family, maybe the mother forgives you, maybe the son doesn't. The son is like angry now. He wants to kill you because you just took away his father, You know what I'm saying? So you got so many different people that, have to forgive you, but the guy that you killed can't forgive you. It's over. So he's going to come up on the day of judgment. You're going to come up. All right, you killed him. Now it's like, okay, does he want his rights from you or does he want to forgive you? This is up to him now. So if he chooses like, no, I want my rights. You're going to be, you're going to be giving up all your good deeds to him or taking all of his bad deeds. And then what happens now when your scales are unbalanced? You're going to have to go in the hellfire and then you have to suffer in the hellfire until you get purified from those sins. So that's that, as far as like the person being there for forever, and like I said, no, there's a back and forth about that issue, about the khulud fi nar, and this issue. And like I said, that one I'm not even going to go into. I told you what Sheikh al-Amin said. He said, la'allahu, I believe what Sheikh al-Amin said. You can go back and check it. But he said, maybe it's that the person ends up doing this, he kills a mu'min, in an unjustifiable way, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala flips his heart, he ends up dying on kufr, and he gets burned off in the hellfire forever, Because, just imagine you kill another believer. Could you expect to die on Islam? It's just like, it's subhanAllah. But if a person makes tawbah with Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant that tawbah. But he still got to answer, he still got to pay back the blood that he spilled, The family doesn't want to forgive him. And it's even worse here in America because there's no qisas. So there's no, what are you going to do? There's no diya and there's no qisas here.
No blood ties?
No, there's no, they don't kill the person. Like, they put him on death row, maybe, if he's probably killed like 3 or 4 people in some brutal way, but those 3 or 4 people have to be named Becky, Elizabeth, and Nancy. And then he'll go to death row. But if it was like, Lakeisha, Natasha, he'll get like 25 to life or something like that. But you know how it goes, right? But if he killed Becky and Nancy from the valley, and then he's gonna go to death row. he's gonna sit on death row for 25, 30 years, he probably appealed it, to probably, reduce his death row sentence to like life in prison, and then what? So there's no qisas. His head's not rolling on the ground for the crimes that he committed. And there's no diya, so there's no blood money. You understand? So he's not, again, so he's not, going to go and just pay, he's not paying the money to the family. There's support for the family. They just lost the man of the family. If he killed a man, obviously, if he killed a woman, it's a whole other issue. But still, there's a diya, And the family doesn't even get given that. They don't have that option in America of killing them or accepting the money. There's no option. The option doesn't even exist in America. So the families are never given their rights in America. So you're coming on the day of judgment now, killing somebody in America. You got the killer never got his rights. Not the killer, the killed. The person who was murdered never got his rights. And the family never got their rights.
Compensation.
Yeah. They never, because you lived in prison for 20-something years while they had to suffer with their dead whoever, brother, father, whoever, uncle, son, or whoever.
Provider of the family.
Yeah. But you were chilling in prison playing dominoes, and doing pull-ups on the yard while, they were crying and suffering. So no, they never got their rights. So what happens now, you gotta come on the day of judgment now, you gotta answer for, you gotta face all of them. You got the man that you killed, he's gonna take his rights. Then you got the family who never got their rights, they're gonna take their rights. That's no joke. That's no joke. That's why you gotta be very, very, very careful about this stuff, huh?
لو مثلا في السجن مثلا انت يعني تدفع لهم او شيء يعني اذا انت تدعو لهم الله يرزقهم بالدعاء حقك يعني هل يقبل؟
Saying if you're, let's just say if they
say it again.
اذا في السجن تجيهم مثل الجريمه اللي انت عملتها مثلا تدفع لهم اي فلوس او اي شيء انت تساعدهم واذا انت مثلا
You don't pay the money anyways. The families pay the money. And in Yemen, if a person kills a person, he's in jail. He can't pay anything. Yeah, the family, they have to gather the money up and then they give it to the family.
قصدي يعني اذا انت تدعو لهم يعني تدعو للشخص اللي بيصرف على الشخص.
But that's if the family accepts it. It depends on the issue. If it's a killing by accident, then you have the diya, the blood money. But if it's qatl al-am, not shibh al-am, but am, like you purposely killed somebody. It was on purpose, like you meant to kill him. You took a gun and you shot at him. You can't say, it was an accident. You know what I'm saying? You threw something, you got angry and you had a baseball in your hand, you threw the baseball at him because you got angry and hit him in the head and killed him. You could say, what? I didn't mean to kill him. That was an accident. This is baseball. Nobody's going to think that's going to, I throw a baseball at him, it's going to kill him. How many people die every year get hit by baseballs in a baseball stadium, right? So that's called shibh al-am. It looks like it's on purpose, but it's not because the weapon or whatever was used to kill the person is not a weapon. It's not something that's a weapon that used to kill them. It's not a knife, it's not a gun. You go take a bow and arrow and shoot it at somebody and say, oh, I didn't know it was going to kill them. You can't use that excuse, You can't say that. Guns and sitting there stabbing him. No, I didn't think he was going to die though. No, that's not going to work. So no. So he's going to be locked up. The family, they have to, as far as the money is concerned, they have to raise that money up. So, and they pay the blood money. But again, it goes back to the family. Do they accept that blood money or not? It's their choice. Off with your head or they accept the money. So, that's, so the family doesn't accept it, they don't accept it. They just like in Yemen, I've seen it, more than once where they go, they slaughter a cow, and this is a popular thing in Sana'a for your Sanani people. They slaughter a small calf, right? And they slaughter it, and it sits there. Just sits there. They they say, you accept the blood money, and we're all going to eat this calf together. And they'll, literally leave it there. If you don't, the family that I knew was a Yemeni American family. One of their relatives got killed. So they slaughtered this calf and they just left it there, And they said, accept the blood money and we'll cook this calf up and we'll eat it all together as friends. And man, after 2 weeks, the smell of that, they just left it there. And then the calf started rotting. It's become rotten, and maggots are coming out of it. They refused. So they took the guy, they wouldn't accept it, but the calf sat there, and they sat in tents. And they're like, please just accept the blood money. He's like, nope. So they took him, they put him down, and shot him, shot him in the heart with an AK-47. And they killed the guy. So, because the family wouldn't accept the blood money. No, but that's up to the family. They don't want to accept it, they don't want to accept it. They want the man dead, they want the man dead. That's it.
If he was to die in this dunya as a kafara, does that mean he doesn't have to face on the day of judgment?
No, that's the haqq of Allah.
Okay.
If you get the punishment, either one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you tawbah. And say you don't get caught. You get away with it, you never get caught, you make tawbah. Right here, Ibn Abbas didn't tell him, go turn yourself into the government and go get yourself killed. No, what did he say?
Is your mom alive?
He said, is your mom alive? You know, okay, go make tawbah. Go do actions that bring you close to Allah. He didn't tell him, go turn yourself in and get yourself killed. Right? So, if he doesn't get caught, he makes tawbah. And that's his repentance, that solves the haqq between him and Allah, the disobedience. Because the first off, the killing is disobedience to Allah. That's number one. So that's haqq Allah ta'ala. Now he solved that by making tawbah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted his tawbah. But then he also transgressed against the rights of an Adam. So now he has to answer for that, and that Adam is no longer alive. So if he gets punished, he gets killed, the qisas, and he, off with his head, then that's his punishment in this life. For the sin that he committed against the rights of Allah, he disobeyed Allah. But he still has to face the person on the day of judgment. Yeah. Because he still has to return the right. He hasn't returned the right. Him getting killed didn't give that guy his life back. Didn't return anything. Didn't return that man back to his family. And so all that, he still got an answer for. That's transgression. He cannot return that in this life, no matter what.
What about the hadith where there's a man who committed zina, and then he came and then he requested to be punished, and then they killed him, and then the Prophet said, his tawbah would be enough for the whole.
No, that was a woman. There's a woman. Yeah, she came and he said, go, and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And he said, go back until you have the baby and come back. And then, but the thing is, if she had had the baby and then changed her mind, nothing would have happened. That shows her level of iman, that she had the baby, she breastfed the baby for 2 years, that she still came back to the Prophet after all of this time and said, Khalas, now give me my punishment. So that's why he said, إنها تاب توبة لو تاب like وسعت 70 من أهل المدينة. It would have been enough for 70 people from Medina, that her tawbah alone and what she did, because of what she did. The other guy that you're talking about, he actually, that was a different story, because when they started stoning him, he actually tried to run away. And the Sahaba grabbed him and snatched him and threw him back and then stoned him. And then the Prophet asked him why they did that. Why didn't you just let him run away? He changed his mind once that first stone hit him. And he's like, oh no. Like, wait a second. And he ran. But they grabbed him, they took him back, and they put him back in the hole, and they kept stoning him until they killed him.
So I guess it's because she didn't take the right of another Adam, right?
No.
She just oppressed herself.
Yeah, that's a person to herself. Yeah.
Which is why her getting the punishment.
Oh, that's it. That's done. Like that's expiation for her sins. And even the Prophet and what he's saying. Because the statement that he made was because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Omar. Asked him, right? لِمَا تُصَلِّي عَلَيْهَا وَقَدْ زَنَتْ. Like, why are you praying on her and وَقَدْ زَنَتْ? So and that's why he said that. He said, so that shows the Prophet praying on her, inshallah, is showing that her tawbah was accepted, inshallah.
Sheikh, what if they don't accept the blood money and they don't want the the guy that,
No, there's no third choice.
oh,
It's like, we don't accept the blood money, but he can come live with us. I mean, what's the third choice? No, he either dies or you accept the money. Or you forgive him, sorry. There is a third choice. That you can just forgive him. And just say we forgive him. We don't want anything from him. We don't want any money. And you forgive him, and then they let him go. Yeah, so yeah, there is actually a third choice, yeah, you're right. But, yeah, other than that, no. That's very rare, though. That's very rare. But you still gotta answer for the person that you killed. So that's just the government, you know, the laws make Tawbah. You know, maybe the person was in the prison, you know, praying at night, reciting Quran, and the family knew about this, and the family felt bad, and they say, we forgive him. Hey, that's the family's rights, and your Tawbah is fulfilled. You know, you made Tawbah from your disobedience to Allah, you still have to answer for the person that you killed. So what you need to do now is for the rest of your life, is to do as many good deeds as you can to make up for all the good deeds that you're going to give that guy if he doesn't forgive you. And so you better just spend the rest of your life in obedience to Allah, reading the Quran, praying at night, fasting in the daytime, giving charity, and that's how you spend your life. Yeah. Any other questions? And what you do is you don't kill anybody. That's what you do. All right, that's number one. Well, if you guys eating all this chocolate, then you probably gonna go out and kill somebody right now.
The cookie.
Kill a cookie.
No,
لا
get
لا
it.
غالب نصرف من إيسر بني
All these.
That's what I told you. You went and robbed the Easter bunny with all this chocolate. I'm almost done. Any questions on there? Alright, so we'll wrap this up. Actually, you know what? Keep it rolling. Because Abu Malik isn't doing the little Maram here, so we'll have to do it. Because we're not going to have it there.
أذان أولا
Huh?
أذان
What?
أذان
No, we'll take this class. We'll keep this class short.
شو ساعة
I think it's 8:45, right?
850.
8:50?
850, yeah.
Yeah, we still got time. Alright, so we started on first of all, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alright, we started off on Kitab al-Nikah, right? And what do we say the word Nikah means in the Arabic language?
Together. Together.
No, that's what Kitab means.
No, the action. Oh. Yeah.
Alright, so Nikah is the actual action, but because it's a kinaya of the action, so because of the usage in the Arabic language, it became to be marriage, because obviously the action that you do is a married couple. Yeah. Alright. They said that the first hadith that we took, يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج فإنه غض للبصر وأحسن للفرج ومن لم يستطع فعليه بالصيام والصوم فإنه له وجاء. So we said يا معشر الشباب. What does the word معشر mean?
جماعة
جماعة. Alright, مختلط أو غير مختلط?
مختلط
Are they mixed together or not mixed together?
مختلط
مختلط أو غير مختلط? And Jama'ah, they could be together or they could be separate. And Ma'ashar, this type of Jama'ah, they don't have to be all mixed together at the time. Because he said, Ya Ma'ashar al-Shabab. So it's all the Shabab, not just the Shabab that are in his presence at the time, but all the Shabab. Ya Ma'ashar al-Shabab. So it's Jama'ah مختلط أو غير مختلط. Alright, من استطاع منكم الباءة. What do we say الباءة here means?
القدرة على الزواج. القدرة على الزواج.
Yeah, so it has two things. It has the actual meaning in the Arabic language, which means what?
القدرة على الزواج.
Huh?
القدرة على الزواج.
Qudra, you know, the ability to keep your wife happy. That's al-ba'a in the Arabic language. If you don't have the ba'a, you're not going to have a happy wife. Alright, so, but here it means all the ability to get married, to pay the mahar, to support her, you know, to feed her, to clothe her, everything once you get married, and to give her her rights, you know, as a wife. فَإِنَّهُ غَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ. What does that mean?
It's more helpful to lower your gaze.
It assists you and helps you in lowering your gaze because you have a wife at home. وَأَحْسَنُوا لِلْفَرْجِ.
It's more protective for your private parts.
All right. And then ahsan here, amna. All right, amna. So, because it prevents you from, it helps as a prevention to keep you from falling into things that you might fall into if you didn't have something at home to go home to. All right, because as we know, us married folks have been married before. Once you get married, it seems like all the women in the world start to love you all of a sudden. It's like you were ignored. Nobody cared about you, but then once you get married, all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know, it's like the women can smell it on you. It's like, you know, all of a sudden you start getting attention that you didn't used to get when you were single. Because if you had gotten that attention when you were single, you know, who knows what percentage you might have, you know, as a protection from Allah, but the longest time, but then you get tested when you get married. So he said, well, man lam yastati' fa'alayhi bis-sawm. So whoever doesn't have the ability, then he should fast. فإنه له وجه. What do we say?
Oh, no, I'm not no. Yeah, that too, but like...
Wajah in the Arabic language, it means to take your private parts and beat them to the point where you start to like deaden the nerves and you lose your desire to do anything. So he's saying that the sawm, the fasting, is a wajah for you. So you don't have to do that. You know, because the old days they used to do that just to deaden their, you know, I mean there's other things that people do. Like if you look at like the prisons overseas, they put like a kafur in the food. Kafur is a type of urshab. You know, they use it a lot for the oil that's made from the kafur. They use it for like the dead people when they're doing the kefan as kafur, right? I think it's called camphor in English or whatever. But kafur, if you make a tea out of it and you drink it regularly, they do this in the prisons and like they used to. I don't know if they still do like in Yemen and Saudi. They give it to them to deaden their so they don't end up doing all that gay stuff in the prison.
It's called saltpeter. Saltpeter. That's what it's called. Saltpeter. It's called saltpeter. So you don't get no.
I understand what it's You think why am I laughing right now? Yeah. I understood exactly what I was saying. It's a good name for it too, right?
Yeah, well, they got women working, women staff, so.
Yeah, because that happens in the jail. They end up raping the women. Yeah. There's a woman around.
If she don't wind up raping them.
Yeah. I mean, because in jail you gotta take a shower. The women guards is sitting right there. You think those dudes are up in the shower doing when they know that the woman's watching?
Yeah.
And then if they get the ability now to be in the same vicinity as that woman, come on, man, you're not around a woman for like how long, man? So they put that stuff in the food to like, in America they put like they load everything up with soybeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the soybeans is to like raise up the estrogen levels and deaden the testosterone so that way, you know, you just become like
Female.
Yeah, exactly.
The advice of estrogen killed internet thugs.
Yes. Stop eating soybeans. But I mean, yeah, they do that here. That's, you
Some
see, like
people
all
just
the.
don't work on. Some people just don't work on.
It doesn't because no, I'm saying if you're out there working out and exercise, if you're just a dude just sitting around the dorm playing spades, eating, sleeping, playing spades, yeah, of course, you're gonna start to just get all. You know, rainbow generation happen, you know, but you get that dude that's out on the yard doing pull-ups and push-ups and he's fighting every single other day. That soybean stuff it's just gonna bring his testosterone down a bit, but it's not gonna like completely deaden it. No, it's not. But yeah. Alright, so the next hadith, we took the hadith of Anas also. فَمَنْ رَغِبَ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. About the three people, the guy that said in أقوم الليل ولا أنام والثاني قال أصوم النهار ولا أفطر والثالث قال ولا أتزوج النساء. And then the Prophet ﷺ heard about this and he said what? He said أما أنا فأقوم وأنام وأصوم وأفطر وتزوج النساء فمن رغب عن سنتي فليس مني. So he said, as far as me, Prophet ﷺ said, I get up at night, I pray, and I sleep. And I fast, and I break my fast. And I marry women. So whoever, رغب عن sunnati, whoever goes against my sunnah and goes away from my sunnah, فليس مني, then he's not from me. So this deen is no doubt about marrying women, yes, marriage. There's all that tabattul, and like go up in some monastery and sit up there. No, we're not with that. We're about having children, and we're about increasing the population of the Muslims. And one of the most evil things that a lot of these munafiqeen, these hypocrites, they start to spread amongst the Muslims is this Planned Parenthood garbage from the kuffar, trying to get the Muslims to have 2.5 children, like Becky and Nancy and all these people. No, like the Muslims, we're advised to marry and have children. Like, give the people their rights, not just get married and have fun and then toss her off into the garbage. No, give the woman her rights, give the children their rights. But we're encouraged to have more wives, more children, as much as you can handle, as much as you can be just with. So as much as you feel that you can be just with, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَىٰ وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُم ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَن
ألا تعود.
أَلَّا تعُولُوا.
ألا تعود.
أَلَّا تعُولُوا. Yes.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he started with Masna.
Yeah.
Masna. So us is
Well, that's what Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, mentioned. He said that the lowest is 2. He said for the weak people, they take 1. But you got to at least get 1. For the weak people, they get, But then again, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah didn't live in 2024. Our women are crazy. So 1 sometimes is more than enough.
1 too many.
And if you get the wrong wife, boy, one is too much. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you get a good wife, alhamdulillah, 2, 3, alhamdulillah, make your life easy, make your life happy. But you get 1 bad woman, boy, whoo, you regret ever getting married, boy. All right, the next hadith, وعنه عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأمر بالباء وينهى عن التبتل نهيا شديدا ويقول تزوجوا الودود الولود فإني مكاثر بكم الأنبياء يوم القيامة. رواه أحمد وصححه وابن حبان وله شاهد عند أبي داود والنسائي وابن حبان أيضا من حديث معقل بن يسار. All right. So here we see that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, يَأْمُرُ بِالْبَاءَ. Ba'a here means what? No, it means azawaj here. Because we talked about the actual word ba'a or ba', it's the actual ability that you have to perform what you need to perform with your family, right? That's ba'. Ba' or ba'a, there's 4 different languages, but I know like 2 that are commonly used. Commonly used is ba' with a ha and ba'atun. Ba'atun with a tab marbuta. Alright, but there's 2 other ways of saying I can't remember, but these are the 2 that are most commonly used. But here this is a kinayah, so here he's talking about azawaj. Ya'muru bil-ba'a, bil-zawaj, bil-nikah, to get married. وَيَنْهَى عَنَ التَّبَتُّلِ is what? What is tabattul?
Is it like not ejaculating the wife?
You just went so far out, I don't know.
I don't know, it's because we're talking about ba'a, right?
No, I told you that here it means marriage. It means,
celibacy.
yeah, celibacy. A tabattul is to be celibate, to sit back in some monastery type thing, like a monk and not get married, and then you don't get married, and then you take out all your frustration on all the young boy population, like the Catholic priests and all that. Strike. Yesterday it wasn't on YouTube. Strike 1. He's talking about the Pope. He said the Pope rapes little boys.
ويكون رابع.
Huh?
يكون رابع.
What's that?
يكون رابع.
A rabbit.
نعم.
What, 4 strikes?
لا بيكون رابع بس نقول.
No, we got those 3 strikes removed. So we're dealing with a clean slate right now. So we can get 1 strike, So yes, we're not advised to be celibate, to remain celibate. If you have the ability to get married, and in fact, we talked about this yesterday. If the person, if he is so maftun like so tested to the point that he cannot control himself, then it becomes what?
Wajib.
It's a wajib upon him to get married. Wajib upon him to go get a job, get 2 jobs, drive an Uber, do DoorDash, do whatever, work at Walmart, work at Amazon warehouse, whatever you gotta do, and get that money and get married as fast as possible to protect your deed. You know, do whatever you gotta do, you know, but get that money saved and to get married as fast as possible if you cannot control yourself. It's
So
wajib.
wajib is telling us it's good.
No, it's obligatory.
Oh, obligatory,
Yeah. It's obligatory if he can't control himself.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna end up falling into like,
Sin,
yeah, like fornication or something like that. Yeah, he's got to go get married.
okay.
And for the person that has self-control, it's sunnah, it's mustahab jiddan. It's very beloved for the person to go and get married, you know. It's for the person who doesn't have any, no, not any self-control, but any desire. Because there's some dudes, they just don't have desires for, you know, for just being, they're not gay, but they just don't have desires for women, right?
Yeah.
They just don't, you know, and so those dudes, then it's, you know, if that's the case where he has no desire for one, he shouldn't get married. Yeah, because he can't fulfill her right. If he can't stand up and do her right.
Impotent.
Huh?
What about when you?
I know, I'm saying if he's impotent or something like that case, in that case,
Excused.
no, because, but he has to let know, what's he gonna do? He can't fulfill her
I'm
rights.
talking about after the marriage.
And he becomes impotent after,
Yeah.
then she has the right to divorce, they ask for a divorce. Because he's not giving her rights.
Yeah, but.
Dude, drink some carrot juice and some ginger, I think you better do something. You better, you know, keep functioning, you know.
So she still got a right to get out? I mean, that's not.
Hey, that's her
not
right,
right.
that's her right. As long as she wants it, you gotta give it, that's it.
As long as you want.
That's, you know, if she's requesting it, you know, if you're not gonna give it, then what happens is because it becomes a tribulation for her. Drink some carrot juice, get you some ginger, start, you know, go eat Jamaican food. I think Jamaicans, they, mashallah, they, you know, get you some curry goat, eat some curry goat every day. What are the Jamaicans, they make like specifically for that purpose, they make a goat head stew. Specifically for that. For that purpose. Goat head stew. Find a Jamaican, get you some goat head stew with some ginger. And give your family her rights. That's it.
Yemen's going with dairy, so the honey that all the Yemenis be.
Yeah, they make the sidr,
Yeah, consider.
and they mix it with the queen bee honey, with the royal jelly.
For the energy with
Yeah,
it?
but you do not use that royal jelly and you're single.
Oh.
You use that royal jelly and you're single, you hear me out the mouth. Do not use royal jelly and you're single. If you use royal jelly and you're single, you're gonna disobey Allah.
You're gonna bust a gasket.
You are gonna disobey Allah. Somehow, some way, but you are gonna fall into disobedience. You do not use royal jelly if you're not. It doesn't it's not like it's immediate. Like the royal jelly, you have to take it for like 30 days.
Oh, okay.
But once it gets into your blood and cleans out the blood, it's on.
That's all energy.
Yeah. Yeah, you just feel like a 12-year-old child again.
But this is actually trying to be serious. Is it haram for a man to intentionally not ejaculate on his wife during sex?
To pull out, you mean?
Yeah, to pull out. Like intentionally.
It's makruh. It's not haram.
Are you talking about, what's that term?
Pulling out.
Yeah. What's it called in Arabic?
It's gonna come in this hadith, and it's gonna come in this
I
chapter.
thought it
inshallah.
was permissible.
Hmm.
I thought it was mubah.
No, it's makruh. It's disliked because you're not, here from the sunnah is to increase the population.
Population, yeah.
You know,
Well, for, control scheduling, it's like one kid in maybe a year and a half.
that's not in your control anyways. That's what Allah has written. So if Allah wants you to have a child, you're gonna have a child.
It's to make the ummah
So
bigger,
you
right?
could pull out, keep it in, or do whatever, but it's still, whatever Allah has written is gonna happen, is gonna happen. So, I mean, there's nothing that you can do, to stop that. It's what Allah has written, so. Yeah, but I mean, as far as doing that, there are companions that used to do it in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. And like I said, we're gonna those are hadith in that issue, inshallah, is going to come up in this, inshallah. Yeah, because it's all about about the rights of the wife and stuff like that. Inshallah, that will come up. Any other questions? So he said, أنا تبطل نهيا شديدا. So about celibacy, he used to forbid them نهيا شديدا, in a very severe manner. Like, don't you think about it, no. Like, نهيا شديدا. ويقول تزوجوا الودود. So marry الودود. What is الودود? Yeah, like the girl that has a very lovable character about it. Not this rough, like manly, square jaw type of woman that, like wants to throw irons at you and stuff like that, wants to fight you with hands and stuff. No, al-wadud is like a very lovable, just soft, woman. So he said al-wadud, al-walud. Al-walud what?
Fertile woman.
Yeah, she's prone to having a lot of children. Now, obviously, if she's never been married before, you won't be able to know that. So how do you know if she might at least fall into that category? How do you know?
Look at her sisters and mom.
Yeah, look at her family. Look at her mother. You can't maybe not look at her sister.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but when you look at the number of kids about the families, the mother has like 10 children, and then one of the sisters has like 8, 7, 9 children, and you're like, okay, we're going to put some numbers on the board, inshallah, but if you look at the mother, she's like 2 children, and the sister's got 1 child, and you're like, we might not be pushing out too much, right? So, al-walud, she's prone to having children. You got to look at the family. Alright, فَأَنِّي مُكَاثِرٌ بِكُمُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, because he encouraged the people to have children, a lot of children, for what purpose? To increase the numbers of the Muslims on the Day of Judgment. So when we're resurrected on the Day of Judgment, the numbers of the Muslims are very, 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 very large. So this is something that we're encouraged to do. And that's why I said all that Planned Parenthood and all that stuff that's being pushed by the hypocrites. Because the only thing about the kuffar is, you see the kuffar, they come here and they go to like the Arab countries and the Muslim countries that are having all these children. And then they tell you, hey, no, you don't have money, you can't, they want to put that fear of poverty with you, they want you to fear poverty, so you don't have a lot of children. But then they go to like places like Sweden and say, y'all need to have more babies, So what's the message here? They want the numbers of everybody else to go down and their numbers to come up, because they're not having a lot of babies, so now they want everybody else to start doing the same. They want everybody like
build the population.
Yeah, because if you look at like the average Yemeni back in the days, 50, 60 years ago, actually, he's got like 2, 3 wives, and he's got like 20 children. 15 to 20, that's nothing to brag about.
Yeah.
The sheikh, I think he's got like 30 something children.
What?
Yeah.
Al-Hujuri?
Yes. He's got like 4 wives, if I'm not mistaken, and 30, like, I don't even think he knows how many children he has right now. But he's got like over 30, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. One of them got killed during the war up in Harmo. But other than that, that's, yeah.
So in Islam, if you can't have children and nor can your wife, you can't adopt, huh?
Adopt, like, in what regard?
A child.
The way that they used to adopt before is they used to raise the orphans of their families. They wouldn't adopt from another person's family. So if, for example, like you see Maryam was raised up in the house of Zachariah, their family, they're all related. That's how they used to do it before. So if a person, like for example, his father dies and his mother isn't able to take care of him, then maybe his uncle or somebody else takes the child and raises the child, or his grandfather takes him. It's always been in the family. So because the thing is that if you adopt a child, now let's say that you adopt a boy, your wife, is not going to be the mother of that child. So how are you going to handle it now when he gets to the age of puberty and you have daughters or something else like that? How is this child now going to mix around with them? He wasn't breastfed, So he's not a part of the family in any regards. And the same thing on the opposite side of the spectrum. What if you adopted a girl? Now she reaches the age of puberty. How is this going to be in the house where she's got to cover up and she's got to stay away from you because you're not a mahram for her? You understand? It doesn't matter legally, whatever documentation they give you from the American government don't mean anything. You're not a legal guardian for her in Islam. So how are you going to handle this? So that's not just for the situation only with adoption. That's having children out of wedlock. The man is not the father for that girl. So she also cannot be raised up in the house with him. She has to remain covered. He cannot be an actual mahram for her. So if he tries to give her away as a mahram, and they were born, like the girl was born out of wedlock.
So it wouldn't even be valid.
It wouldn't be valid if he gave her away as the mahram. If he gave her away as the wali.
Yeah, the wali.
Because he can't be the wali for her because he's not a mahram for her. Because he's not the legitimate father. Yes, he's not. Her nasab goes back to the mother, not to the father. The father is completely out of the picture. So yeah. What does it say? ولد الفراش وإيش؟ وللعاهر الحجر. This hadith is also going to come in Bulugh al-Maram, I believe. So الولد الفراش, and whoever the child, whatever bed he was born in. So the woman, because she gives birth to the child, and that's it. He's a little firash. He belongs to whoever's bed he was born on, which is that woman. If she gave birth to him, she's his child. Not she's his child. Like that child is hers. وَلِلْآهِرِ الزَّانِي, for the person who commits fornication, al-hajr. Al-hajr means he's blocked from he doesn't, because it's out of fornication. So how can you be sure that he's even the father in the first place? So there's doubt there. And again, in this Islam, we're in Islam, we don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with doubt. We worship Allah with certainty. And that's why you see there's an iddah, there's a waiting period after marriage and everything, just so there's no mixing up.
So let's say, for example, you have a Muslim, right? And you gotta get married, and she's pregnant. Is it still permissible to...
You can't marry when she's pregnant.
Oh, no, I'm saying you're pregnant, get her pregnant. So is it permissible to do a DNA test still? I mean, it's like...
You married a Muslim woman.
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know.
Why would you do a DNA test? It's your wife, right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
So you don't trust her.
Why would you marry in the first place if you don't trust her to that point?
Didn't the Prophet say, إِيَّاكُمْ وَطَنْفِنَ اللَّهُ الْحَدِيثِ?
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's a reason that gave him that bun.
So after it's just like trust issues? I don't know. Trust issues?
Why would you marry her if you didn't trust her?
I mean, once you tell her, I mean, look, Abdul Malik, once you tell her that you want to take a DNA test, your marriage is done right there. It's over, It's gone. You think she's going to want to stay married to you after that?
I'm very sure.
So, you might as well just go ahead and divorce right there,
The child won't even come out and say, hey, you didn't even accept it.
Don't marry a woman that you don't trust. That's easy. So, all right. Any other questions about this?
Are children cursed if they're born out of wedlock? Or no?
You've been hanging around Christians usually?
No. I'm just wondering.
Why would they be cursed?
وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا.
They
I
flawed.
heard like if you in the moment if you ejaculating her with a different intent. What?
You on the camera. That's
Nah, you might as well go ahead.
I heard if you ejaculate her.
We heard that part of it. You could have just continued.
the thing that you normally do a man in the
Yeah, just continue to after that part.
With a different intent, the kid may come out different than what it should. Like not like it's born now.
Sure.
Like
Back in the book?
like no. like her. Like oh,
It's the back of the bus joke. So if you get her pregnant without the intention of getting her pregnant,
No, like,
is he going to be a back of the bus baby or is he going to be a short bus baby? This is the question. And I don't have the answer for you on that. No.
Did you really want the answer?
I don't know.
nah, cause I heard, that's why, I heard,
So if you heard where you delivered,
huh?
Nah, I don't know nothing about that, man. As far as the intentions.
Like, let's say, like she, like, okay, never mind, I can't hear you.
Is it
I'm not sure.
it's for a valid reason to, delay having kids? So the uslas too, in the Catholic moment, it's good to have a lot of kids, but say, a person's wife, pregnancy takes its toll on her.
Man, I'll tell you what Chevrolet means. I mean, okay, we got a woman who's like weak, and like she might
Or like she,
death or something, like she's really, really serious. That's something completely different. But we're just talking about like, oh, how are we gonna get the money? How are we like?
What about like, for example, for women, with every pregnancy, she just gains a lot of weight. Some women are prone to that, right?
Well, you're just gonna have to start loving big women then, aren't you?
Hey, no.
Good. Sit back and eat Ben and Jerry's with her and enjoy the company, man. Every Friday night, y'all just sit there and just start scarfing down ice cream together. Chevrolet means that if you look at let's look at reality. You have a man with 10 children and a man with 2 children. Who has more of a chance that one of those 10, like, you got this guy with 10 children and this guy with 2. Who has more of a chance that one of his children might become like a billionaire or something very successful, or a chef, or a Highland, or, who's got more of a chance?
with the 10.
With the 10. You got 10 chances out of, you're gonna have some stupid ones in there. No doubt. 10 children. You're gonna have some things like, I don't know where you came from. That's probably the stuff that Malik was talking about. We didn't want you. You're gonna have them, right? Alhamdulillah, I don't have them yet. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Nah, we wanted him. We wanted him. But he's not a short bus baby, don't worry. But yeah. But the point is let's say 3 or 4 of them are just like, my God, where did you come from? But then the other 6, now you might get 3 of them that are very successful and 3 that are like mildly successful. They can take care of you in their old age, in your old age, I'm sorry. Now you got 2 children and both of them are stupid. You got a 50-50 chance now, of getting like maybe one of them being successful. And what's the chances of that happening out of 2 people? Yeah. And then what's the chances now those 2 people are going to just toss you off in a nursing home in your old age and not care about you anymore?
That's very high.
Exactly. Because they don't want to take care of you. But now you got 10 children.
Well, yeah, 10 children, 5 of them, they go off the way, 5 of them, they stay close to them.
But they're all going to get married. They're going to have children. And they might end up having 5 or 6 children amongst themselves. So now, if you look at it, you have 10 children. And each of those children have, let's say, on average, 5 children. Now you got 50 grandchildren. Now, what's the chances now out of those 50 in your old age that are going to help you out and look out for you? Oh, that's Grandpa. We got to take care of Grandpa. Grandpa's sick. You think 50 grandchildren and 10 children are going to toss you off in a nursing home and forget about you? No. So, I mean, it's just common sense. And that's why you see back in the days, in Yemen, no such thing, nursing homes in Yemen. No nursing homes in most of the third world countries. That stuff is in the civilized world, where they just toss their parents off and get rid of them and say, here, grandma's your responsibility now. Take care of her. We'll just front the bill. What type of garbage is this? This is the civilized world that's doing that. But you see, Mexico, do they have nursing homes in Mexico? Do they toss their parents off to, what do? Take care of them, right? Family, take care of them. They got children. They got family. They got family that comes together and helps each other. Here, family is not even a concept anymore. So, almost time. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, I'm not going to take a shut on that. It's late.
What time is it? 9?